Nobel laureate Professor Wole has aired his views on the current political dispensation in Nigeria, expressing his complete lack of confidence in the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. The playwright, in a recent TV interview monitored by Daniel Fayemi, while speaking on how to get Nigerian leaders to be more sensitive to what concerns Nigerians, said that President Buhari lost him completely with his remarks following the Benue killings, where he failed to demonstrate true leadership. He said, "Let me give an example which I gave in a recent interview. It's unfortunate it concerns me, but I must drop all inhibition. I'm a teacher. I must use every opportunity to instill lessons in people. When the killings, the other virus, the Boko Haram virus, the swab virus, the Mieti Allah Esme virus, etc., when it hit Benue, it took ages, 10 weeks after the killings before president of this nation visited there. He visited there eventually, and what did he say to them? He said, "Oh, you people must learn to live together like neighbors." That was the day I gave up on that government completely. I said after his unbelievable absence, you go there and your message is that they should learn. You didn't come there as a commander-in-chief, as a leader, and say the culprit would be punished. I assure you, and, and security would be given. No, he didn't say so. It is that kind of leadership which trickles down and enable his cohorts. There's this Gaba guy that wants me to turn this pandemic into a Nollywood film. He urged Nigerians to be more consistent in their criticism of poor government policies as he described the ease with which Nigerians move on from shocking issues. He said we need more pressure groups and more consistency because people, they drop things too easily. It is what exhausts me sometimes, and I will say, what happened to this case? I travel out and it's dead. Something which should agitate on continuously for a long time, whether it's some stupid, careless and provocative statement from the government, and I come back and everything is forgotten. Look at the case of the cars which are being bought. So they bring in other bees. We are busy fighting that other bees. But in the meantime, the cars are already here and being distributed. I'm sure some of them have already sold their own because all they want is the money. They already have the cars. So we need a bit more consistent attitude and also to use the careless moments of government to study them to understand the kind of trouble we are in, Soyinka said. Soyinka also bared his mind on various bills that came through the House before the lockdown that perplexed many Nigerians, such as the generator ban, the Boko Haram rehabilitation bill, and the social media bill. He said a lot of those are distractions. Distractions. These people who say they govern us always want to turn our minds away from essentials, and so they distract and dissipate our energy. Look at the amount of energy we spend unnecessarily on the hate speech bill. You say you want to start killing people if they spread hate. People have been spreading hate since eternity. Social media, you have to close it down completely. You have to execute 90% of those who work on social media. You want to shoot all of them. So what kind of bill is that? You can reinforce laws of libel to take into consideration the technological advancements and the abuse of technology and so on. But you don't sit and waste days passing on serious bills. Go back, there are still agents, there are, there are still bills against homosexuality. People who are found look through the terms expressing affection in public of persons of the same sex. Leave adults severely alone. What consenting adults do is not the business for legislation and so on and so forth. There's one recent which was it now. I was very happy to see strong editorials against it. Our legislators need really to be taken to task. Things like that would get the goats of young people like Shiwore, and then he lays revolution now. They say enough of this nonsense. That is really all they are saying. They are not saying take up gorgeous and asses and on march on and start a bloody revolution. No, it's a revolution in attitude. Press further on the roles of the social media during this pandemic amid a deluge of information and misinformation. Soyinka released that he has steered clear of the Nigeria social media space because it depresses him. He said, let me tell you the truth. I have not during this epidemic gone to the social media because I think I will just be depressed out of my mind. So I've sent out from time to time. I go to newspapers online, not just this country's newspaper. I watch sections of all Al Jazeera, Sky News, CNN. CNN has become lately too depressing for me. The statistics and you see what that you see and what is happening at New York hospital. I was in New York recently, and to see the city like the going down, I don't want to see it again. I already know what's there, and I'm communicating with my colleagues all over the world. So I inform myself that way. Social media, especially of this nation, depresses me. Hmm. Not just depresses me, it makes me murderous sometimes, and I like to keep my blood pressure down. So guys, Wale Soyinka just, in a nutshell, just to round up what has been going on in this country and the day he gave up on Buhari's government. A lot of people always coming out, oh, you are one of the people that brought this government in, you are the one of people that did this and that. We have never had it so good in this country because it's just like from worst to worst, from worst to worst. If we take about 5 steps forward, we'll take 10 steps backward. That is what has been happening. And we just like, oh, everything will be fine. Somebody was asking me that, what do we now do in this present situation? Because a lot of things that we have been talking about, you can imagine Wole Soyinka. Do you know when these people started this talk? Even Ojuku, all of them, they've been talking from, from time to time, from decades to decades. Different problems will start coming up. And just like you said, a lot of distractions, some things that are unnecessary, we will not dwell on it. And these people, they have that, it's like they have that agenda. Like every day one problem, as you are speaking or talking about that problem, before the next morning another problem, the one you are talking about yesterday, that one is already gone. How do we move forward in this kind of country? And somebody was asking, what do we do? I say it is still, it depends on the people, because the people themselves, it's like they don't even know what to believe. They don't even know the direction to take, because everybody is confused. Somebody will just come and say, oh, this is the right thing, oh, this is the right thing, and they begin to set confusion among the people. The people are just divided. So it's a long, you don't even just know where to start. I think, in my opinion, if you can really let every session just be on their own, everybody will start thinking from that direction. But they would not want that to happen. Well, he has made his own opinion known that the day he gave up on this government, and you heard what he said concerning that. But let's hear what people are saying, because believe you me, people are going to they are going to attack him for this statement he has made. Someone says, the day I completely lost hope in Nigeria and I educated elite was in 2015, when people such as Wole Soyinka supported Buhari, a man with obvious deficiency in modern government, as against an obvious better leadership qualities. This one said the way he lost hope. He lost hope in this man too, the Wole Soyinka, that said the day he gave up on Buhari too. And somebody said the day he lost hope was when he saw the kind of the caliber of Wole Soyinka supporting this government. That was when he lost hope in Nigeria as well. Someone says, Oga Soyinka, I respect you a lot, but since the day you start fighting the God sent good luck Jonathan, I dislike you. Sure, you have seen the Buhari you Oga Tinubu brought to power. You have not seen anything yet. You people should get set for your information. Buhari is come after you. We come after you, the Yoruba leaders, over 2023. Take note. Wole Soyinka, I was in Sweden, Stockholm, when your Nobel Prize, Peace Prize, I was living in one of the country, and I was very happy that Nigeria has raised a son recognized by the whole world. Unfortunately, Nigeria raised a disgrace. Who? You people open your filthy mouth, insult elders and men of God just because freedom of speech repents. True talk, Professor Wole Soyinka never support anybody. He only stand for good governance. Only non-entity that were siphoned resources during Ebele Jonathan can bad-mouthing this respected man. You can support someone to be enthroned, and when he is seated and behaved funny, you can change your mind. Haven't you read the heart of a man is desperately wicked? Who can know it? I can sing your praise today, tomorrow crucify you. Period. I think that's just the way it is. And somebody said, even where we were coming from, was it better? It was not better off. It was not better off. And just like I always say that this president Buhari would have shamed the people who said many, many things about him. But unfortunately, he gave them the opportunity to begin to speak. And just like somebody said, if the heart of man is desperately wicked, you can't even know it. And like I always say, people say, oh, know the people you are voting for. How do you trust them? Because they will tell you sweet things. Some of them have a good background. They have good, they have that leadership quality. But as soon as they get there, you'll be surprised that what is happening? Really? What happened? What has changed? And a lot of people have lost hope. So you can't even blame. The whole problem is everything is just confusing. Because the ones that you think that will be able to do the right thing, once they get there, they will be telling you, singing another song. They will be telling you the reason why they are failing. So what do you expect? So if he feels that, okay, this where we are is not the best, let us move forward. Somebody is coming to say, okay, I will do it better. The person is even aligned with all the problems on ground. Then you say, okay, let us give this person a trial. But at the end of the day, the person gets there and begins to do something different. I know a lot of people are really disappointed because they never knew that this man has an agenda, and the agenda is playing out. This nepotism, this I don't care attitude, not talking to people. They say that is his style. If people had known all of those things before, or they knew it, or they just believe that, oh, maybe it's going to change for the better. But at the end of the day, it disappointed even one of them. So you can't even blame this man, because if somebody does good today, or you think that he can do the right thing, and the person changes tomorrow, must you continue to say, oh, I just want to be with you? That's just my own opinion. So guys, let's have your take concerning what Wole Soyinka said.